Okay, so as promised, I'm going to talk to you about sets and reps. Reps are the number of repetitions that you do one exercise. Of course, if we're talking about the bench press, if I lay down on the bench, lower the bar to my chest, push it back all the way up to the top where it started, and that's one repetition. If I do that 10 times in a row, then essentially I've done 10 reps. I re-wrap the bar, I walk away, have my little recovery, I come back, and I start my second set. Okay, so if I do another 10 repetitions there, have a rest, and another 10 repetitions after that, what I'll essentially have done is 3 sets of 10 reps. Okay? So, with regards to the training program that I've put together for you here today, what we're generally going to be talking about is looking at 4 sets of 10 reps. Okay? So it sounds nice and simple. All you're going to do is go in each time, sit down on the bench, do 10 reps, have a rest, and repeat that another 3 more times to get to 4 sets. However, people often get stuck in that rut, just doing the same thing over and over again. So what we're going to do is we're going to work in what I refer to as a little bit of a ladder system to help keep you move on and progress through your training. Now this goes across to the squat, it goes to the deadlift, it goes to the bench press. All of those exercises that we're putting out for you will all be used on this sort of ladder system. So, I'll put a little line there, that's going to relate to my 4 sets that I'm going to do. Put a little times in there for each one. What you're going to do initially on each of these exercises, whether it be squat, whether it be deadlift, whether it be bench press, in this case we're going to look then at bench press. Okay. You're going to work out what your 10 rep maximum is. Okay? And that's going to take you a little while to do. You're going to need to go into the gym with a friend, and you're just going to have to pick a weight that you think looks about right, and then you're going to work towards getting 10 reps out. If you can't get 10 reps, let's just drop that weight a little bit, okay, until you've found out that 10 rep weight for you. And it'll be absolutely different for every individual. Once you've found that 10 rep weight, so let's say for example that we're talking 60 kilos, when you're formulating your program, we're going to have 60 kilos in there. And then we're going to have the same in on there, and there, and there. Okay. Now, when you're doing your sets, because we're doing 10 reps, you don't need a huge break in between each one. So I'm going to say you're going to be using between a minute and a minute and a half break between doing your first set of 10 reps of 60 kilos. You're going to take a minute's rest, you're going to come in, and you're going to do 60 again, 60 again, 60 again, all for 10 reps, and that's your bench pressing done for that day. You're going to move on to whatever the next exercise is. Now, if you come back next week, when you look at your recordings, and I want you to write these down what you're doing each week, you're going to see, actually I've managed 10 on every single one there. So at that point, I want you to start thinking about, okay, the resistance that you've got. So, you're going to move that straight up to 70 kilos. Okay? And you will find at the start of your training that you do go up big leaps and bounds. So you can see, I've put the weight to 70, and I've found that I can still do 10 reps at 70 kilos, even just 1 week after. Okay. You have a look at that and you think, okay, I managed it, that last 10th one wasn't as easy as the 60 was the week before. Okay. So you may find on that 3rd week that you come in, if you don't get that full 10 kilo increase, you may very well still find you're getting somewhere like that. Still with 10 reps on each, now maybe you're pushing 75 kilos. Okay. At that point, you might carry on with those increases each week. You might find that it starts to slow down. So, the next week, because we've achieved this, we've got our 10 reps at 75 kilos on each one, I want you to push up again. Okay? If you're thinking, crikey, this is starting to get really hard now, then let's reduce the size of that increase again, and maybe just drop it down to 77 and a half. 77 and a half. So what we've done is put 1 1/4 kilo weight on each side of the bar. And the first set is good, you get your 10 out. The second set is good, you get the 10 out. The third set is a struggle. So you manage to get 10 out. You get to this fourth set, and actually, all we hit that time is just 8. Okay, that's not a problem. In fact, that's what we were hoping for. We're hoping to get to that point where we're challenging those muscles each time. Okay. And what we're going to do then, following week we come back to start doing bench press again. We're going to leave the weight this time. We're not going to up the weight, we're going to leave it at 77.45. What we're hopefully going to do is we're going to get that 8 up to 10. And you stick at that weight till you can manage these 4 sets of 10. Okay. So we found our area that we want to work on. As soon as you get to this point, let's not stop there, let's move on again. So rather than changing the weight the whole way through for all 4 sets, now that we've found that sort of plateau level, we're going to struggle to actually do big jumps now. Rather than jumping one whole stage on this ladder, what we're going to do is we're just going to climb one run of that ladder. So the following week you come in, instead of doing 75, instead of doing 80, 80, 80, 80, we're probably struggling maybe 10 out on the first one, but 8 on the second, 6, 5. What we're going to do just going to change that last set. Okay, it's going to be the hardest one for you anyway, because you've already worked through here. But we're going to change it. That last one is now 80 kilos. Okay, what do you think is going to happen? We're probably going to fall short. Probably going to fall short on our reps. So as you can see here, we've managed 77.5 on the first 3. We did 10 reps on each of those. We got to that fourth one, we up the weight a little bit, and we drop down. Okay, so we only managed 7 reps. That's fine, that's exactly where I want to be again. Next week, we're going to set it up exactly the same, and we're going to carry on setting it up exactly the same until, yeah, you got it, we can get this one up to 10 reps as well. The following week, what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to move the next stage up that ladder. We're going to put our 80 in gear. See if we can do 75, 77.5, 77.5, 80. Yeah, we managed 10 on the first one, we've already managed 10 on the last one down here. But it's meant that this one again has dropped down. So we only managed 9 on that last 80. Put more effort in until that point. From there, it's quite simple, isn't it? Carry on with this setup until we can manage 4 sets of 10. And then what we do the following week, move another stage up the ladder. Until we're doing 80 to 10, and then we drop back down to the bottom of the ladder again, and we increase the end. We go 82.5 or 85. So we get 4 sets of 10 at 80, 80, 80, and 85. Stick with that until we work our 85 up towards it, and then we up the weight again. And this is a nice method to make sure that you don't stagnate, you don't get stuck in that rut. Just turning up and doing 10 sets of 80 when actually you could be doing 10 sets of 90, 10 sets of 100. Okay? You just stick with that same weight you walk in with every week, you're just going to get stuck. Okay? So the main basis behind the sets of reps that I want you to do is it is 4 sets of 10 reps. Okay? Find that weight that's suitable for you, then keep pushing it. Initially you might be just jumping up that ladder where you just up the weight on each one, and expect that to happen in the early weeks. You will see gains and benefits flying in those first few weeks. After a month or so, it will start to slow down, and you might start having to use that steps up the ladder technique. Hope that's helpful, guys.